Hello, 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 Virgo rising. It is Moko here with a message about what you guys need to know coming up soon. Technically, this is a timeless reading. I usually read regarding zodiac transits, important ones, and we just had a really important new moon, but technically this is a timeless reading, so whether you see this a few weeks from now, a few months from now, even a year or two from now, it's still applicable. But remember that I read rising signs, so it's important for you to know what your rising sign is and watch the video for the corresponding sign. And if you would like a personal reading, I give readings on www.tarotbymoko.com as well as Etsy, and I also do live readings for free on Instagram about once a month. Okay, so let's pull some oracle cards for you, Virgo rising. Interesting. Interesting. I will say that. Immediately what I feel is like I'm feeling a blockage in the throat chakra. This is something that you need to work on. So your throat chakra, your root chakra, I'm getting a lot of fear from here. I actually like 2 cards of fear, as well as your heart. So your heart needs healing. And your third eye, well, that's like a little bit over half. So your third eye, throat, heart, and your root chakra, these need to be worked on. So the first thing I was drawn to was asking about your love life. And unfortunately, it's not as cut in stone as everybody else's are. But basically, it's saying that conclusions are in sight. And the answers you're looking for, they are coming. Not necessarily now, but they are coming. And usually when this card pops up, it means that a very important conversation needs to be had. But what they're trying to tell you is to be very careful about saying things that you're going to regret later. I mean, when we're in the moment, it's difficult to discern what we're going to regret. But just when you have this conversation, be very careful about your words. Try to be careful about hurting the other person on purpose, because sometimes people do it accidentally. But be very careful about how you present yourself, your ideas, and your feelings when you have this conversation. But it's coming soon. It's coming soon, within a few months. And I asked about your career, and it looks like some of you have a lot. Actually, no, a lot of you have a lot of doubts. And they're saying nothing's set in stone. So if you made a mistake, if you're working right now and you made a mistake, that doesn't mean that your job is over. Or if you're in a career right now and you're not exactly happy, that doesn't mean that you're forced to stay in this career for the rest of your life. Or that doesn't mean that this career is always going to disappoint you. So basically what they're saying is what you're feeling now, you're not always going to feel this way. What you're going through now, it's eventually going to pass. And what you decided on now, you can always change your mind. So nothing is set in stone. So don't feel like, you've crossed the Rubicon. Again, is there anyone old enough to know what I'm talking about when I make these references? And for those of you who are in school, you're applying to school, or if you're considering going back to school, it feels like a lot of you are kind of scared right now. And this makes sense because it is mid-August and it's around that time when people start going to school. So this makes perfect sense. What they're saying is that you being a little bit afraid or a little bit anxious about what's going to happen next, it's normal. It's normal. So don't beat yourself up over this whatsoever. It's absolutely normal for you to be concerned about what you can handle, so it's normal. And when I asked about your social life, so usually this is a Sagittarian card. Usually with this energy, social life is actually promoted, but it feels to me that Spirit is trying to tell you, so the sentence on the card is look at the bigger picture. So it feels like Spirit is trying to tell me is to make sure that the people you're hanging out with, the people you give your time to, make sure that they actually contribute to your full life. Like, say, for instance, say if you're in school and you met certain people through school and you continue to hang out with them, but it doesn't necessarily feel natural for you, or you don't feel like totally open with these people, you don't have to hang with them anymore. you know. You don't always have to hang out with these people, or say if you're in a relationship and you want to be friends with your partner's friends, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Excuse me. Oh gosh, let me stop. They're saying that you don't have to be forced or feel like you're obliged to hang out with people, or to even on the flip side to ignore people, because I know there are some people who, if they're part of a mutual friend group and one person has a problem with the other person, they expect all of their friends to ignore the other person. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Like, say if you like this person, hang out with them. If you don't like this person, stop hanging out with them. You know, you don't feel forced, or don't feel obligated to people that, you know, don't really do it for you. Okay. But remember, I said root chakra, third eye, heart chakra, as well as throat. So basically, some of you may be afraid to speak your truth when it comes to your emotions or some relationship or something like that. Don't be afraid. Start working on it. You can get on YouTube and listen to chakra music, chakra healing music. You could also do what do you call it, meditations that are specific for your chakra. You can even, like, you can be a lazy ass and you can just wear colors that represent the chakra, and that will help you. So try working on that, so that when that conversation comes up in your relationships, you'll be able to express yourself more freely. Okay, so let's get to the tarot cards to see if there is another message for you that could be a little bit more specific. Interesting. So this is definitely something to do with friends. Yeah, I feel like there's something, Virgo rising, going on in your friend, like your larger friend group. This doesn't necessarily mean you're good friends. This could be like friends of friends, or like people you used to work with and they're still kind of friends with you or whatever. There's some sort of, it doesn't feel like, you know, horrible drama or anything like that, but there's definitely something going on in your larger friend group that feels like it's a burden for you, as if you have to be there to not solve all their problems, but to just listen to them talk about stuff that doesn't really freaking matter. Again, you don't have to if you don't want to. But upcoming, it looks like you're going to be having a good time with friends that you actually like. And that pretty soon you're going to be reunited with people that you haven't seen in, you know, a few months or so, something like that. And it's actually going to be, show it to you. It's actually going to be quite happy for you. And again, these are people that you actually like, okay? Stop being a jerk. In terms of something else, it looks like you guys may be reunited with someone. This feels like masculine energy. One is definitely from the past, like potentially a fire sign from the past, but somebody else is kind of new. They're kind of new. They have Aquarian energy around them. Aquarian energy, some fire in their chart, but this feels very like heavily Aquarian, like somebody who's just, you know, kind of weird is not the right word. I have Aquarian energy. I don't consider myself weird. But there's something unique about this person. Yeah, they do feel like a free spirit. They do feel like somebody who has the potential to be in and out of your life, but when they're in, it's fun, basically. So there's that. There's also money to be made for you, and this feels like an artistic endeavor. So this could be anything. Like, seriously, this really could be anything from, like, say, basket weaving, say basket weaving, painting, writing, photography, potentially playing an instrument, in a group, or even just signing up for workshops to improve an artistic talent that you have. But if you decide to do, Spirit is basically saying that there's money to be had in this. So think about what this could be, and get started on building connections, networking with people, and even joining workshops if you can, because then you'll be able to link with other people who are interested in the same thing you're interested in. Okay, Virgo rising. Statement for Virgo rising. I am connected to the earth and all life around me. So again, this root chakra, I don't know if I accidentally said sacral, but it's the root chakra. If your root chakra is a little bit off balance, that means that you feel kind of like you don't have any roots. But yeah, kind of like you don't have any roots, that you don't belong to a specific place, that you're not sure of where you're going. So what will be important for you is definitely to look for a Reiki practitioner that can help you balance yourself. Or you can do it yourself by the things that I listed, you know, finding a meditation on YouTube, wearing the colors, whatever. But an important thing for you to do, especially for your root chakra, is to go out in nature and ground yourself. It can be as simple as eating meat. You know, there's that. You can eat meat. You can plant your feet strongly on the floor, but it's more important for you to go out into nature and plant your feet into nature, in the ground, barefoot. You can even hug trees. Do whatever you need to do, be around water, whatever, get into nature, ground yourself, and connect. All right. If you would like a personal reading from me, then please go to my website at www.tarotbymoko.com and click on the Book a Reading button from the homepage. From there, you will be redirected to my shop, which includes categories for career, future forecasts, general inquiries, love and relationships, personal growth, as well as options for expedited delivery. I have a spread for almost every occasion, but of course, love and relationships is the most popular, with readings for your future partner, no contact, will you ever find love, how does your crush feel, as well as sugar daddies. And if you do not feel comfortable purchasing from my website, then you can find me on Etsy under the same name, Tarot by Moko, where I have the same exact readings that I have on my website. And for those of you who would like to learn how to read the tarot, then just visit my blog, and there you will find a series called Learn Tarot with Me. There, I will provide definitions for the cards, as well as tips and tricks to help you become more intuitive with your tarot reading. All right, thank you guys so much for checking out my YouTube channel. I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.